Hi guys, welcome to Mysterious Universal Chatter. It is now 8:33 p.m. I got one more thing for you that I found. It's quite interesting. It's on ESP and it comes from the same thing, the Freedom of Information Act. That I'll tell you about. I've been researching it, so I've been looking at things that I can bring to you that would be interesting. It's called file number 63-4036. Um, it's an office memorandum. And the subject is extrasensory perception. Okay. This was, oh my God, this was so July 16th, 1957. That's how long ago they've been looking into this stuff. Okay. Now the whole front, the top line in that, it's all blacked out. I'm figuring they're talking about somebody because it says attended a private exhibition of extrasensory perception given by Mr. William Foes at American Legion headquarters in Washington, D.C. This exhibition was informal and attended by 20 individuals, principally officials, the Veterans Administration. Mr. Foes, resident of Richmond, Virginia, is a high school graduate employed in a minor capacity with the C. and O. Railway. About 2 years ago, he became interested in extrasensory perception, a long-term, probably technically inaccurate, and began experimenting with members of his family. He claims to have achieved amazing success and in recent weeks has received a considerable amount of publicity in the Richmond area. There's another paragraph there, but that paragraph is blacked out. So I don't know what it says. Sorry, guys. He is holding a number of exhibitions locally in an apparent attempt to create interest in his ability to teach the blind to see. He has appeared at Duke University, where experiments have long been conducted on the power of extrasensory perception. And various government agencies, including the Veterans Administration, are very much interested. Very simply, Foes claims the ability to teach the blind to see. In 6 months, to teach a person without eyes to see sufficiently well to drive an automobile safely. He disclaims any supernatural power, and not being a scientist or physician has no technical and scientific explanation. He merely states that a person can do what he makes up in his mind to do. He claims to have taught not only members of his family, but apparently 25 other individuals as well, including persons completely blind to see with 100% efficiency. To illustrate his ability, his daughter Margaret Foes, about 16, 17 years of age, was blindfolded by the observer with pads and an electric band, thereafter reading distinguished colors and moving about the room with complete ease. So then it goes to extrasensory perception. I guess this is the second page. Minute handwriting submitted by those in attendance. Accordingly, trace the written material and in all ways function without error. As with complete vision, in answer to a question, blank, blank, it's blacked out, as to whether distance was a factor, Foes stated that during one recent public exhibit, Margaret had distinguished colored balloons at a distance of 400 feet. In answer to another question as to whether motion would complete the problem, Margaret played the childhood game of jacks using a small 1.5-inch diameter rubber ball, definitely retrieving it regardless of an angle or the bounce. Okay. Mr. Foes was questioning as to his ability to teach a person to read an article covered by a pad or to see through a wall. Well, could you imagine being able to see through walls? I think we could do it, guys. Alright. He, at that time, avoided a direct answer, stating that because of the defense aspect of such a possibility, he was not at liberty to discuss it. Later, however, in private conversation, he claimed that he had taught one of his students to accurately read an article completely, obscured by heavy cardboard, and that teaching the ability to see beyond a solid masonry wall was merely a matter of degree. He would pursue this matter no further. Inquired by foes as to his general method of teaching, whether individual tutoring was essential, he stated that he had taught a group of equal facility. He further stated that he had found it much easier and had greater success in teaching the physically blind rather than those with ordinary vision. Should his claims be well founded, there is no limit to the value which could accrue to the FBI. While complete and undetectable access to mail, while the diplomatic pouch, visual access to buildings, the possibilities are unlimited insofar as law enforcement and counterintelligence are concerned. So they want it so they can use it, like for espionage or counterintelligence or something like that. That was weird. I'm sorry, guys. My pillow just moved by itself. I was just bugging on it. Alright. Anyway, besides the pillow now. Right away, they're seeing the value in it. Okay? So they're like, oh yeah, we could use this for our... You see what I'm saying? For our benefit. So, that's what they're looking into. What they can take. Oh my god. Alright. As fantastic as this may appear, the actuality of extrasensory perception has long been recognized, though not to the degree of perfection claimed by Mr. Foes. It is difficult to see how the Bureau can afford to not inquire into this matter more fully, and then it's all black. Bureau interests can be completely discreet and controlled, and no embarrassment would result. It is recommended that FBI make further inquiry, and then it's all blacked out. Claimed ability to teach the blind to see. Bearing in mind the tremendous potential to the FBI, should these claims prove well-founded, attached for approval is a memorandum for Richard Office with copies for mobile. Oh snap, what are they going to do? It's all blacked out. It's all blacked out, like the next one. The records in the library of the Richmond Times-Dispatch and the Richmond News Leader, newspaper of Richmond, Virginia, were checked on August 8, 1957 by S.A., which reflected an article by K. Lewis Warren, dated July 17, 1957, which related to that Margaret Foes, a 16-year-old high school girl, has demonstrated with her father, William Foes of Ellerson, Virginia, methods by which William Foes hoped to teach the blind to read. Cotton pads have been placed over the eyes of Margaret Foes, secured by a black elastic blindfold. And in that condition she had found and read passage from a magazine furnished by a reporter, and had read samples of handwriting as well as verses from the Bible by request from the audience. The article further stated that William Foes did not claim to be a psychologist or to have had even elementary knowledge of the subject. However, he claimed to have read everything possible on the subject of extrasensory perception since starting his experience some of 2 years previous. The article further stated that Foes was a foreman in the salvage warehouse of the C.&O. Railway. On leave of absence, that he started experimenting with the children who visited his place in Hanover County, Virginia. to fish and ride his horses, and later began working with friends. Further, that Foes had recently been to Duke University, where he had demonstrated for 2 days before Dr. Joseph B. Rhine, an eminent authority on the subject, and other members of the parapsychology department of the university. The article then states that Foes impressed the viewers as being thoroughly sincere and stated that his main interest in his project is to help the blind. However, he refused to divulge his methods of teaching but believed he could teach other instructors in the field. The article further set out that Foes hoped to obtain a charter for Extrasensory Perception Research, Inc., and listed the backers and members of the organization as Henry Caravati, Richmond Public Relations Man, William Cantor, an auctioneer, and Robert Cantor, a lawyer. Further, if the charter was granted, Foes planned to recruit blind youngsters who would be willing to cooperate in this experiment. The library contained another newspaper article dated June 22, 1957, to the effect that ESP, Extrasensory Perception Research, Inc., received a charter yesterday from the State Cooperation Commission and will undertake clinical training for the blind. The officers and staff of the organization were set forth as follows. Well, the article further set forth that the staff was to leave Monday to conduct a series of demonstrations in Washington and New York, and that a clinic would be open when the staff returned. One copy of this communication is being furnished for the information of Charlotte office, should the Bureau care. And the rest of it is blacked out, so I can't even read that. They totally blacked. Wow, there's one page the whole page is blacked out. Really? So page 4 is blacked out. Page 5 has nothing on it. This... Nothing. So he gave the thing to the representative of Military Intelligence, Central Intelligence Agency, sometime during August 1957, pursuant to the request of Supervisor Inquiry Concern. This was made by blah, blah, blah. It's blacked out. I can't read it. Something section at the office of the Assistant Chief of Staff, Intelligence, AGSI Department of the Army. Lieutenant Colonel John Downey, Special Operations Branch, ACSI, advised that the representative from his office and the representatives from the Army Intelligence Center at Fort Holabird, Maryland, had attended a demonstration given by Foes held on August 8, 1957, at the Marriott Motor Hotel, U.S. Highway No. 1, Arlington, Virginia. Attached hereto is a copy of the memorandum submitted by George C. Blackwell, the representative from Colonial Downey's office attending this demonstration. As far as Colonial Downey knew, there was no representative from CIA at this demonstration. However, it was his understanding that on August 8, 1957, another demonstration was given by Foes to individuals unknown to Colonial Downey. Did I say that right? I think I did. Not representing the Department of the Army, however. Is that Lieutenant Colonel? Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Leroy C. Hill, the representative from the Army Intelligence Center, is making an evaluation on the demonstration. However, today he has reached no conclusion. So they're going to advise the Bureau once it's done. Huh. I don't think they believe him. So, yeah. To them, I mean, they're like, no, that's not right. That's crazy. So they were practicing this in 1957. Can you imagine how far they have come by now? I mean, we're talking 1957. It is 2023. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've mastered that crap by now. But I definitely wanted to bring that to you and let you guys hear about that. I thought it was pretty freaking, like, awesome to think. I mean, this has been going on since 1957. That is a freaking long time. So, could you imagine where they're at now? Wow. Okay, so, like, subscribe, thumbs up, guys. And I hope everybody has a great night. All right, God bless y'all.